So everybody, in the past few days, there's been some rumours about Bruno Fernandes potentially going back to Saudi. Al Hilal have offered us an enormous bid for Bruno Fernandes, and obviously that has been turned down immediately. Now, he's got loads of bids from Saudi over the past few months. I don't know anything. Al Hilal is the only team that's been interested to get the player. I think, obviously, Bruno Fernandes is very committed to Manchester United, and he immediately turned it down. Now, Al Hilal are looking at loads of players, particularly from Manchester United. I mean, Jadon Sancho, Anthony's been mentioned, Casemiro, another one, Varane being another one. So there are many players on the card for Saudi from Manchester United, and that could be something they look to explore in the summer window. But as of now, there's nothing with Bruno Fernandes to Saudi Arabia. Now, let's talk about it. Bruno Fernandes is a player who is getting a lot of scrutiny from Manchester United now as well. He's a very 50-50 player. Some people really like him, some people don't really tend to like him. Now, I know football's not all about numbers, but if you want to back up Bruno Fernandes, you can say his numbers speak for themselves. I mean, he's up there with Messi with the chances that he's creating. He gets numerous assists for Manchester United, and there's many assists that he's not getting because players are missing their chances. So that's something that needs to be looked at as well and taken into consideration. I think the GA that he gets for Manchester United and even for Portugal is really, really good. I think his output obviously needs to improve. He knows that this season it hasn't been the greatest, but I'm sure he's determined to win trophies at Manchester United. I mean, he's been at the club now 4 years, and I think he's desperate to win trophies at the club. I think, yes, he's won a Carabao Cup, but it's not really enough. It's not really a major trophy, in my opinion. It's a good trophy, yes, don't get me wrong, but yeah, Bruno Fernandes, if you look at what way he plays at Manchester United, he's a captain, obviously, and that's a big factor in itself. That's a huge responsibility. Being Manchester United captain is not an easy job, and that's something that Bruno Fernandes obviously took under his wing really, really well. I think he's been a calm, composed player at Manchester United and someone who has helped us in tough times. I think being the captaincy was deserved at the time, and I think he will continue at Manchester United. As I said, look at where he plays, number 10. There's been 2 or 3 players that have been brought in to potentially give competition to Bruno Fernandes, and he's ultimately beating them off. Obviously, Donovan de Beek is a player who plays in that preliminary in that 10 position. He's been eased out just by the fact that Bruno Fernandes is too good and too consistent in the games that he plays. He's never really dropped and plays most games. Look at Mason Mount, Eriksen, they've been players. Yes, Eriksen plays the 8 role. Mount will probably be someone who plays that 8 role as well, but they're still preliminary 10s. And 10s who can give competition to Bruno Fernandes. Yes, you need to give rest to Bruno, but I think that he wants to play every game. I think he enjoys playing every game as well. As I said, that number 10 position, he's a very, very creative player. Unselfish as well. Yes, he's selfish at times, but every player is. I think he's been very confident for us in that leading us. He's talked about how we need to improve to be better as well. We know we're nowhere near good enough. But in terms of Bruno going Saudi, I just think it's a very, very peculiar decision. There's definitely some people out there that will sell him, and it's a very, very interesting debate for Manchester United to see. Now, going on to other players to Saudi, obviously Anthony, I think he's a player who Saudi looked at, evaluated 50 million. Now, that's half the price of what Manchester United paid for him. He's probably not even worth that, in my opinion. His performances have been shocking, and I wouldn't be opposed to moving him on to Saudi. I think most of the Manchester United fans are. They've given him a season. Second season, he hasn't really given us much, and I think they will look to not hopefully, but it's sad the way that it's ended, or it will probably end for Anthony at Manchester United. Obviously, the whole stuff that happened in his personal life did not massively help him. He was in and out of the team, but he's not a consistent player. He annoys a lot of the fans. And for me, I just don't think he's a Manchester United player. Yes, we spend a lot of money, and that just shows, again, the poor ownership under the Glazers. But I think under this new ownership with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I'm sure they'll be looking to do every detail and every player. And I'm sure Anthony will probably be one of them they look at as a potential player who will look out to move. Now, the next player, obviously, Jadon Sancho, someone who's obviously on loan at Borussia Dortmund now. We spent £85 million on that player as well. It hasn't gone well for him at all at Manchester United. Obviously, the whole situation with calling out Ten Hag didn't help him, and obviously he hasn't played since then. Now he's doing okay at Dortmund. He's not getting the greatest numbers, and I think maybe Dortmund might be his league now. Saudi is an option as well for him when he returns to Manchester United in the summer, and I think it's going to be a very, very interesting window for Manchester United. I think Dortmund should look to sign Sancho, or Saudi should. I think he's a great player, just hasn't worked out with Manchester United, and we know the potential's there with him. He's a great technically gifted player. He's very, very skillful, and we've seen that when he came to Manchester United. He was doing it in the Champions League, he was doing it in big moments. Same with Anthony as well, but it just hasn't quite worked out at Manchester United, and that's something that we need to take into account at all times. Another player, obviously, Varane. Now he's coming to 31 now. Manchester United, in my opinion, need a younger centre back. Davido, Branthwaite, they've players who've been talked about. So they could look to get him in. Personally, I would not sell Varane quite yet to Saudi. I'll probably give it another season. I think he's got a great relationship with Martinez, and he's a great warrior at the back. And finally, I'll touch on Casemiro. Now he's 31, a player who Manchester United have looked to move on as well. Saudi, Al Hilal, Al Nassr, I believe, have been interested with Ronaldo, wanting to reunite with the player. I think Casemiro is a great player for us. We've seen it in this past three performances, but I don't think quite yet as well he should go to Saudi. I think Anthony, Sancho are the two realistic ones who will probably go Saudi, just the fact that they're not really doing it on the pitch at the moment. I think Varane, Casemiro and Bruno we still need yet. That's something they're an integral part to the team. And I think they're important players of the team. But let me know what you guys think. Leave in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. Let me know if you enjoyed this video as well, and there's any other videos you want to see. But thanks for watching as always.